Hello, guys. Welcome back. This is no. I noticed in the comments some of you were wondering if you're too old to become pilots. If you're too old to pursue your lifelong dream of being a pilot and pursuing that as a career. In an ideal world, no. We are never too old to do anything. However, since we don't live in an ideal world, we need to be realistic and consider our age. I believe, and this is my personal opinion, others may disagree, the oldest you can be to start, and I'm going to be very specific here, the oldest you can be to start your training, that is from someone who does not have a pilot license to being hired by the airline, is 45 years to 50 years. Assuming you consume information like the average person, your training may only take you between 12 to 24 months. After that, you will spend the rest of the time building the 1500 flight time that is required by law to be hired by an airline. The airline during your training will also give you your ATP or your airline transport pilot certification. So you don't need to be concerned about that. However, if you merely want to pursue your dream of becoming a pilot so you can fly your friends and family on the weekends when the sky is blue, then your age doesn't matter. You can do that when you're 100 years old, or you can do it when you are 90 years old. It just comes down to whether or not you have the physical and mental ability to pursue it. But that's not the main question. I don't think wondering if you are old enough is the correct question. It's a valid question, but it's not the important one. The important ones are you in a financially stable position to afford to pay either $50,000 for your private pilot license if you're just going to fly friends and family around during the weekends during VFR conditions? Or can you afford between $75,000 to $125,000 to get all of your certification and flight time necessary to be hired by the airlines? If you can endure this course without having to sacrifice your current financial responsibilities, such as mortgages, paying for kids to go to college, if you are renting, paying rent, paying for various utilities and your vehicle and credit card payments, then by all means you should pursue it if you are between the ages of 45 and 50. And this is assuming you want to work for the airlines. The second question is, is why do you want to do this? Are you doing it because you are passionate about aviation and you genuinely had or have a long desire to become a pilot? Or are you doing it just because you have extra time on your hand, you have the money, and you figure, hey, I want to do something different, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it? I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you have the money and you have the time and you want to pursue becoming a pilot as a career, or you have been successful in your previous career and you just want to do something different, by all means, do it. If you also have the money and you have the time and all you want to do is to get your private pilot license to fly you, your friends, and your family around, by all means, do it. Okay? I think that's it for this one. I don't look, I've spent a lot of time on airport shuttles, and most time they're driven by gu- mostly guys in their uh, 60s, maybe 70s, pushing it. And when I board the bus, all of them will say, hey, I wanted to be a pilot when I was younger, but I had kids, I was already working a job that paid well, and I didn't want to leave. But now that I'm older, I wish I had pursued it. I wish I had done it. I wish I hadn't let the other life situations take hold and me abandoning my dream of becoming a pilot. And now they think that it's too late. Like I said, in an ideal world, it's not too late. If you have the means to do it, then you should do it. And my final point would be, if you are changing careers to work for the airlines, before you do it, in addition to checking that you have the financial ability to do it, do some research on the current state of the aviation sector, because it's very cyclical. If the airlines are really busy like they are now, they tend to hire pilots just to make the flights happen. They really don't pay much attention to your age. So if you start your flight training at 45 and you finish by the time you are 47, you can most likely get hired by a regional airline. Even if you started at 50, you can get hired by a regional airline, because the retirement age, I don't recall, it's either 65 or 67. You guys leave a comment below so I can get the right information. And yes, I know some of you are going to wonder, well, why didn't you just look it up? I'm too lazy to look it up, to be honest. Now, if the aviation industry is in a state where the airlines don't need a lot of pilots, then they become very fussy in who they hire. In that situation, they are less likely to invest resources, time, and money to train a much older pilot or a much older individual to be certified to fly their plane. And this, I think, is the most important question of all. Is the industry in a state to where airlines or 135 companies will hire a much older pilot who is now starting his or her career? 135 is a bit different because there's no retirement age. I can fly until I'm 100 years old. It's why there is this debate whether or not you should fly for the airlines or fly 135, because the airlines does come with a time limit while 135 don't. In fact, most pilots fly for the airlines. When they retire from there, they hop over to 135 to continue flying for another 5 to 6 years, way until they're in their 70s. Okay, I know this one was a long one, but I really wanted to do this one to let people know that you're never too old to do anything. If you have If you have the money to do it and you have the time and you're passionate about it, and the aviation industry is in a state to where they will hire a brand new older pilot, by all means do it. If you don't want to pursue it as a career and it's just to fly you and your friends and your family on a VFR day, just get your private pilot license and you'll be fine. All right, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these videos. I'm trying to get my subscribership to 10,000 this year. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I invite you to leave any comments or suggestions you may have below. I am always happy to read them and even happier to respond to them. Until the next one, my friends, fly safe.